Hello, good afternoon. It's 3 o'clock and we will start shortly. We are going to let people in from the waiting room, so please be ready in a few seconds. All right, I think that we can start. So let me introduce ourselves first, and thank you for joining us today for our second open call in StairwAI webinar. Today, together with my colleague Laura, we will be happy to hosting you here and talk about funding opportunities. My name is Urszula Sobek. I'm from Funding Box. And in StairwAI Consortium, we're responsible for the support program, for the open call management, and basically for distribution of financial support to SMEs. At the beginning of the meeting, please let me remind you a few housekeeping rules. So please keep yourself muted during the entire presentation. To let you know, this meeting is recorded for dissemination, communication, and reporting purpose. And if you will have any question, please put them in the chat. We will try to answer them at the end of the session. We have dedicated Q&A slot. So, and let's dive into the StairwAI's open call for pilots. At the beginning, I would like to ask you to imagine SME from Bulgaria that focuses on helping transport and logistic companies to track and report their carbon footprint. SME wants to optimize their processes and develop new tools to not only report, but also to predict the carbon footprint for future transport work. SME knows that AI can be helpful, but SME lacking AI knowledge, AI skills, AI competence, and of course, funding for develop the solution. So what will be the solution for this company? This company decided to apply to StairwAI open call for pilots and address a challenge environmental issue, and finally was awarded by 60,000 euro. But not only financial support was granted, SME received also mentoring services in business and in AI domain, developed with support of mentors a plan for AI adoption, and was matched with AI experts and HPC resource providers to implement the pilot solution. Sounds good, right? And this is the real use case example of one of the companies supported under first open call for pilot in StairwAI. This is a case of transport solution, and this company received funding to develop an intelligent system that allows companies to automate production of carbon footprint report and predict the future carbon footprint in the business. And the company received a grant, 60,000 euro, and 34 of this fund was dedicated to buying services from AI experts and HPC providers. If you would like to learn more about this example, you can enter the email, the link provided on the slide. And if it looks interesting for you, and as this company from my example, if you are AI beginners and would like to start working with AI, implementing AI into your business, this call, this open call is for you. So today I would like to give you some overview of requirements and selection process and criteria in StairwAI Open Call, and provide you some tips and guides how to apply to be successful. At the end, we will answer your question and any doubts you might have. So at the beginning, let me give you some overview. What is StairwAI? So this is one of the projects funded by European Union that aim to support AI on-demand platform, previously known as AI4U platform. This will be done by developing 3 different service layers. One is multilingual interaction layer, the second is horizontal matchmaking, and the final one is vertical matchmaking service. And we are looking for companies, for SMEs, to test, validate, and do feasibility assessment of the resources developed by StairwAI. Especially, we are looking for low-tech SME, and in this call, we would like to support 14 low-tech SME. I will explain you a bit later what is low-tech SME for StairwAI. And we would like to distribute 16,000 euro to perform feasibility study and pilot for the adoption of AI. Applicants should focus under this open call to develop a solution and address one of the StairwAI challenges based on resources available on AI on-demand platform. Under support program that will last for 6 months, there will be 2 stages. First stage is dedicated to prepare and define feasibility plan for adoption of AI, and the second is for development and for pilot implementation. So who we are looking for? We are looking for SME, low-tech, that are established in member states of European Union, overseas countries and territories, associated countries, and also in United Kingdom. And because this is the second call in StairwAI, if you already received support on the first open call, you cannot be funded under this second open call. What is important, so at the moment of applying, you need to be registered as legal entity in your countries. And what is low-tech? This is also important feature. So for the purpose of StairwAI, we develop our own definition of low-tech SME based on definitions developed by AI Singapore. So basically, we are measure AI readiness level based on 6 questions included in the application form. And then we calculate the overall score, and if it's equal or lower to 2, then you are classified as AI unaware and AI aware, and you are eligible to receive funding under StairwAI. And here you can see on this table this classification, so 4 different type of AI readiness level, and for StairwAI to be eligible, you should be AI unaware and AI aware. What type of project can be funded under StairwAI? So use case of adoption of AI by low-tech SME, and project should address one of StairwAI challenge. And as I mentioned, there will be 2 steps of implementation. First, drafting the plan, and the second, delivering the pilot by implementing the plan. What are the challenges? Based on experience from first open call, we extended a bit a list of challenges to be able to cover almost all aspects of the business that can be solved by AI. So we have existing challenges like logistic and supply chain, human resources, management of data generated by Internet of Things, manufacturing industry, environmental issue, and cybersecurity. But we also have some kind of newcomers, so health, education, energy, art-driven solution and art production, public services, and also we open some kind of open challenge called other. So if you have idea, have project that is not fitting to any of the challenges described here, you can always apply to challenge called others, and then you still have a chance to be supported. If you are looking for a detailed description of the challenges, so what we understand under each challenge, please check the guide for applicants. We have a dedicated section where we describe what is required under each challenge. What we are offering, so financial support, 60,000 euro, and it should be divided into 2 types of support. So first is lump sum, it's up to 26,000 euro that can be dedicated to cover your spendings of your companies, your employees, and so on. And also vouchers up to 24,000 euro that should be spent on buying services from AI experts and HPC providers during your pilot implementation. But we are offering not only financial support, we are offering also business and technical mentoring to support you in your journey with implementing of AI, and access to AI tools and resources available on the platform. And we can understand here also access to AI experts and HPC providers. What is voucher? So voucher is some kind of mechanism that enable you to pay for services that will be needed for the second stage, so for your pilot implementation. And you can contract the services based on agreement between you and voucher providers, so pay with AI experts or HPC providers. The only requirement is that these providers need to be validated before by StairwAI. We already have a list of almost 200 experts and HPC providers validated by StairwAI, and this list will be shared with you during the support program. So you will be able to be matched with your experts that match your expertise and your needs. If you know the experts that could also be helpful, have knowledge about AI, you can also ask them to apply and be validated at the moment of starting the support program. What could be the division between two types of vouchers? So in ideal cases, we would like to divide it as follows. So 10,000 euro for buying services from HPC providers and 24,000 euro for buying services from AI experts. But you will still have flexibility to decide how much you would like to dedicate to each of the vouchers. And here you can see another example of a project supported during the first open call to give you more overview how it could work in practice. So this is a project dedicated to automated detection of defects in wells with computer vision and machine learning. And in this project, company SME used deep learning and AI methods to create classification process of defect detection in well joints. And the solution, first, the company working with business and technical mentor to develop a plan for AI adoption. And after this stage, it was some matchmaking was done, and company was matched with AI experts that now supporting them in implementation of the pilot. If you would like to learn more, you can also click a link and check the details. And grant award in this case was 60,000 euro. A few insights how the support program is working. So as I mentioned, there's two stages. So during first stage, you were working only with your business and technical mentor to develop your plan of AI adoption. So you are basically planning what you are going to do during the next 4 months of the project. Then first matchmaking stage. So here we are using tools developed by StairwAI Consortium to propose you the best HPC providers and experts that matches your needs, your project expertise, your project domains. And then there's a time for working with AI experts and HPC providers with support from technical business mentor as well to do the pilot implementation. To reach this stage of support program, first you need to, of course, go through selection process. As you can see here, the selection process is divided into different stages, and detailed description of the stages you will find in the guide for applicants, but I would like to quickly go it through. So after submission, we will do eligibility check and pre-scoring if needed, and then your application will be checked, evaluated by 2 external evaluators. And after consensus meeting, and based on the evaluation criteria, the best score proposal will be invited to the jury day. Jury day will be organized online, and this will be interactive part of the selection process where you will have chance to pitch your project at the front of the jury and answer the question and doubts. After this process, 14 the best companies will be invited to join support program, to go through the formal check, legal check, and sign sub-grant agreement to be able to start working with StairwAI and receive funding. So let's dive into for a while into selection criteria. So we have different group of criteria. First, eligibility criteria. So this is something that we are going to check at the beginning and then also during the whole selection process. Pre-scoring criteria will be applied only if we receive more than 60 eligible proposals. Then to select the best 60, we will apply pre-scoring. Pre-scoring is based on question and your answer provided in the application form. So every time you answer a single choice question, this most likely is a question related to pre-scoring. The list of pre-scoring criteria is also included in the guide for applicants. And then the next group of criteria is awarding criteria. So this is a group composed of three main types, so excellent, impact, and implementation. And those criteria will be taken into account by external experts during this evaluation stage. We also have defined transversal criteria such as equal opportunity, gender balance, social impact, and of course, environment and low carbon economic contribution, but it will be taken into consideration during the whole evaluation process. Let's check the list of eligibility criteria because it's very important to do not fail at the very beginning of the selection process. So first, you should check and be sure that your project has European dimension. This means that from your project can benefit not only your company, but also European society or European economy as a whole. And of course, the project should be submitted by a low-tech SME. You should submit your proposal before the deadline. The deadline is in 1 month, so in 15th of December at 1 o'clock. And you should answer all the questions, and you should submit only one proposal. If more than one proposal will be identified, only the last submitted will be taken into consideration during evaluation process. Your proposal needs to be written in English, and we also check if you were founded under first open call, and if yes, then you will be not eligible. And also other requirements is that you shouldn't have any conflict of interest with any members of the StairwAI consortium. The list is available in the guide for applicants. And you also shouldn't have any financial difficulties. And the results of the rights that we'll be using during the project implementation should be owned by you, your company, or could be also open with open access. And here we have also the group of criteria that will be scored by external evaluators. Each criteria can be scored from 0 to 5. And under excellence, evaluators will evaluate your ambition, your goal, the level of innovation, and your approach to solving and addressing the challenge. Under impact section, evaluator will score market opportunity and also the competition level on the market workloads. This means that we will check if your project can impact creation of new work space, new job offers, and how it impact productivity of SMEs, not only you, but also, for example, productivity in the whole sector or market. Under implementation, experts will be checking your team. So, of course, we are not checking if you have AI skills, but we will be checking if, for example, you have the right skills to support and be able to manage the implementation of the solution, if you have enough resources, enough time to perform the project. And also regarding resources, we will check, for example, if you have a license needed or some kind of IT infrastructure. It all depends on type of a project, but this will be the things that need to be clarified in your application. And how to apply. The application webpage and application form is available under this QR code. you can access it through it. And yeah, after logging to Funnybox platform and sign in, you can click button apply. And you should start your application, filling the application, providing all necessary information, and then save it and submit before the deadline. It's very important. And in this open call, you will have opportunity to come back to your application and improve it and resubmit as many times as you wish before the open call deadline. So please do not wait until the very last moment to not miss this opportunity, because after the deadline, you will not be able to submit your application anymore. And the timeline. So deadline, as I mentioned, 15th of December. So you still have plenty of time to work on your application. Then jury day, so time when you should show up and present your project and the front of jury will be in March. And then the legal check and preparation of subgrant agreement is foreseen in April. And at the end of April, we would like to have a welcome event. It will be online, and this will be an event dedicated to give you some overview of a support program, tools, ideas, and learn how the program will be executed. And support program will last for 6 months from end of April until October. So few tips and advices on how to be successful in preparation your application. So first, you need to be aware that you need time to prepare a good application. So very small application usually not the most successful. So please dedicate time and start your preparation in advance. Remember about European dimension of your project and try to be convincing for evaluators. This means that provide some resource of your data. If you are going to describe your competitors, it's nice if you can provide, for example, links or links to their webpage or links to some papers or some market reports and so on. So as many details as possible is welcome. Of course, you should check if you are eligible for funding, so if you can be classified as low-tech SME. We also encourage you to check the subgrant agreement templates and payments condition upfront to not be surprised later. It's also important to have a right team of right persons involved, so please make sure that you gather the good team to be able to execute the project later on without a problem. And of course, remember to address at least one of the challenges based on your innovation. If you will have any information, any question, any doubts, please contact us via our help desk at info.stairway@fundingbox.com. I don't know no more. There's nothing left.
Ursula, can you please unmute your microphone? Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so coming back, I hope that you can hear me. You can find also frequently asked question documents on our open call webpage, and then you will find the most commonly asked question and our answer to them. If you still have any doubts, we encourage you to join our AI community. The link is available here and also will be pasted in the chat. So there you can also ask questions that we will be able to answer very quickly. And you can also learn more about different funding opportunities available for AI, as for example, call in AI energy that is open now and it's dedicated to developing AI solution in energy sector. Okay, and it's time now for your questions. Laura, I will be happy if you can support me in answering and read the question for me if we have any.
Yes, thank you, Ula. We have some questions from the audience. I'm going to start with the first one. So what do you mean by the adoption of AI? Does it mean that SMEs applying for funding should test and adopt already created AI components from the AI for You? Or does it mean that the SME can spend funding on creating its own AI component?
Okay, so this means that you can do both. So you can use components already developed and available on AI for You platform repositories. So there's a lot of components, but it might happen that it's not suiting to your business, to your project. So you can also develop something by yourself. You can also buy something, or the most common situation will be that you will contract AI experts to develop these components for you during a support program.
Okay, perfect. We have another question regarding to HPC. So the participant asked, can we spend the voucher for the HPC in our own hardware, or we should use external HPC providers? Then it comes a second question from that question. Can we mix between buying our hardware and services? If we spend in own hardware, the amount is funded by 100% or partially?
Okay, so first, you will receive a grant, and you can dedicate it to cover 100% of your spending within the 60K budget. And this amount is dedicated to two types. So first, it's for your own expenses, so for paying a salary of your team involved, or also for purchasing goods and services that you will need. And under voucher, you can buy services from AI experts and HPC providers. This means that you should buy services to use resources of HPC providers. If you are going to buy some hardware for your own, you can do it within the budget of StairwAI, but this should be used not from vouchers, from 34,000 euro dedicated to voucher, but from 26,000 euro dedicated to your own expenses. I hope that I answer the question.
Yes, Ursula, thank you very much. So a third question regarding the low-tech SME, is an IT company considered to be low-tech SME if it does not adopted AI yet?
Well, yeah, you will find in the our application form a section dedicated to assessment of being low-tech. So basically, if you have knowledge, or if a lot of people in your company have AI skills, if you have already some plan for AI adoption, so that you can do it by yourself, you are rather not low-tech. So it depends. If, for example, more than half of employees in your company has competence and knowledge in AI, then yeah, it's hard to say that you are low-tech. So you will be rather not eligible.
Perfect, wonderful. We have a question to include the link of the AI for You website. I will do it right away, but I'll continue with another question for you. So what is expected on the SME side? Meaning, if the SME will spend money in the voucher for the AI expert, what is the role of the SME?
Okay, so SME is kind of adopter of AI. So first, SME drafting the plan with support from business and technical mentor on what will be done, how to implement AI, and what type of features can be developed, and of course taking into account feasibility and duration of the project, because to be honest, 4 months for implementation, it's not a long time. So the role of SME will be to assist, of course, to provide environment for AI experts to do their job. It depends on the project. Some level of cooperation for sure will be required between your team, SME team, and AI experts.
Wonderful, thank you. So we have another question regarding the matching of the SME with AI resources. So the question is how the SME would be matched with mentors and AI resources is going to be planned or organized.
Okay, so regarding the matchmaking process, so after the end of stage 1 of support program, you will have your feasibility plan for adoption. So you will know what type of experts you will need, for example, or what type of resources will be needed. And based on this algorithm developed by StairwAI Consortium, will create the list of suggested AI experts that can support you. And then this list will be sent to you, and you can decide if you would like to work with those experts from the list, or maybe you would like to work with other experts also from the list of validated providers by the experts. Because please remember that all vouchers or services purchased through vouchers need to be purchased from AI experts previously validated by StairwAI and included on the list of validated providers. This list will be shared with companies with SMEs during the support program. So after the stage 1, before beginning of stage 2, you will receive the list of potential experts that match your needs, your requirements, but you are free to decide if you would like to cooperate with them or maybe with other person from the list that you maybe know from cooperation in the past.
Thank you very much, Ursula. We have a participant that is asking if this presentation and recording will be shared. Yes, I will share the link where we will share it in the AI community in the help desk of StairwAI. So I'll continue with the other question while I'll then put the link in the chat. So will the pitch be in person? If so, where will the pitch take place?
Okay, pitch will be online. So they will be organized online. So you will receive invitation at least 2 weeks before the event, and you will receive connection details and all the instruction how to join and what should be prepared. Usually pitch takes around 10 minutes, so you have 5 minutes to do the pitch, answering some criteria, some questions from the jury, and then there's time for further clarification from jury. So it's around 10 minutes per company, and the pitches, it's not publicly available, so don't worry, you do not disclose any information to the general public, because this pitch session will be kept internally only.
Okay, perfect. We have a last question regarding if a company that already received a grant in the previous open call of StairwAI is eligible to apply to this open call.
No, unfortunately not, because we would like to support as many AI beginners as possible. So companies that already received funding cannot apply to StairwAI, because receive funding under StairwAI, cannot apply here. But we have several other opportunities for AI companies, AI adopters. So you can check our AI community for other funding opportunities that maybe you can use for your development.
Wonderful. We don't have any more questions as of now. I don't know if someone wants to submit another question. If not, I think we're done.
Okay, so thank you for your help, Laura. And if you will have any questions, any doubts regarding the open call itself or other AI opportunities for funding, please join our community, and we will answer your question there. And also you can submit your question via help desk email. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope we receive your application soon. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Bye-bye.